Hello, my wily artist. Isn't this fun? I've turned into Cat in the Hat. Well, today we get to make a very fun Seuss character, and you get to do whatever you want. I, however, will show you some little tricks and some guidelines that you might want to follow. So come with me, let's make our own Dr. Seuss character.
On the faraway island of Salamasond, Yertle the turtle was king of the pond. A nice little pond. It was clean, it was neat. The water was warm, there was plenty to eat. The turtles had everything turtles might need, and they were all happy, quite happy indeed. They were, until Yertle, the king of them all, decided the kingdom he ruled was too small. "I'm ruler," said Yertle, "of all that I see, but I don't see enough. That's the trouble with me." "With this stone for a throne, I look down on my pond, but I cannot look down on the places beyond. This throne that I sit on is too low down. It ought to be higher," he said with a frown. "If I could sit high, how much greater I'd be! What a king! I'd be ruler of all I could see." So Yertle, the Turtle King, lifted his hand, and Yertle, the Turtle King, gave a command. He ordered 9 turtles to swim to his stone, and using these turtles, he built a new throne. He made each turtle stand on another one's back, and he piled them all up in a 9-turtle stack. And then Yertle climbed up. He sat down on the pile. What a wonderful view! He could see most a mile. "All mine!" Yertle cried. "Oh, the things I now rule! I'm king of a cow, and I'm king of a mule. I'm king of a house, and what's more beyond that, I'm king of a blueberry bush and a cat. I'm Yertle the turtle. Oh, marvelous me, for I am the ruler of all that I see." And all through that morning, he sat there up high, saying over and over, "A great king am I," until long about noon. Then he heard a faint sigh. "What's that?" snapped the king, and he looked down the stack, and he saw at the bottom a turtle named Mac. Just a part of his throne, and this plain little turtle looked up and he said, "Beg your pardon, King Yertle. I've pains in my back and my shoulders and knees. How long must we stand here, Your Majesty, please?" "Silence!" the king of the turtles barked back. "I'm king, and you're only a turtle named Mac." "You stay in your place while I sit here and rule," I'm king of a cow, and I'm king of a mule. I'm king of a house, and a bush, and a cat. But that isn't all. I'll do better than that. My throne shall be higher, his royal voice thundered. So pile up more turtles. I want about 200. Turtles! More turtles! He bellowed and brayed. And the turtles way down in the pond were afraid. They trembled, they shook, but they came. They obeyed. From all over the pond, they came swimming by the dozens. Whole families of turtles, with uncles and cousins. And all of them stepped on the head of poor Mac. One after another, they climbed up the stack. Then, Yertle the turtle was perched up so high, he could see 40 miles from his throne in the sky. Hooray! Shouted Yertle. I'm king of the trees! I'm king of the birds, and I'm king of the bees! I'm king of the butterflies, king of the air. Ah me, what a throne, what a wonderful chair. I'm Yertle the turtle, oh marvelous me. For I am the ruler of all that I see. Then again from below, in the great heavy stack, came a groan from that plain little turtle named Mac. Your Majesty, please, I don't like to complain, but down here below, we're feeling great pain. I know up on top you are seeing great sights, but down at the bottom, we too should have rights. We turtles can't stand it. Our shells will all crack. Besides, we need food. We are starving, groaned Mac. You hush up your mouth, howled the mighty King Yertle. You've no right to talk to the world's highest turtle. I rule from the clouds, over land, over sea. There is nothing, no nothing, that's higher than me. But while he was shouting, he saw with surprise that the moon of the evening was starting to rise up over his head in the darkening skies. What's that? Snorted Yertle. Say, what is that thing that dares to be higher than Yertle the king? I shall not allow it. I'll go higher still. I'll build my throne higher. I can and I will. I'll call some more turtles. I'll stack 'em to heaven. I need 'bout 5,607. But as Yertle the Turtle King lifted his hand and started to order and give the command, that plain little turtle below in the stack, that plain little turtle whose name was just Mac, decided he'd taken enough. And he had. And that plain little lad got a little bit mad. And that plain little Mac did a plain little thing. He burped. and his burp shook the throne of the king. What's that? And Yertle the turtle, the king of the trees, the king of the air and the birds and the bees, the king of a house and a cow and a mule. Well, that was the end of the Turtle King's rule. For Yertle, the king of all Salamasond, fell off his high throne and fell plunk in the pond. And today, the great Yertle, that marvelous he, is king of the mud. That is all he can see. And the turtles, of course, all the turtles are free, as turtles, and maybe all creatures, should be.
So I have all my supplies here. I'm just using some markers, a paper, and a Sharpie. You can use a pencil if you want to erase, but I am not going to do that. So since we're creating our own Dr. Seuss character, let's look at a couple different characters that are in a few different books. You can see that there's different arms, legs, necks. There's a side profile on this one. He's got a long nose. He's got big feet, a big belly, different texture marks. Let me show you a couple more here. This guy is all one color. You can see he's got some texture marks on the side there. Looks like some cross hatching. Long skinny neck, big flat feet. And this one I thought was pretty fun. His body's really long. And he's got a big snout, big long ears, some hair on the top there. And this guy's kind of droopy, big feet, big long arms, kind of droopy face with droopy ears. Kind of looks like a dog face almost. And this guy's got kind of looking rabbit ears, big feet. A lot of texture lines again. And this guy's kind of fun too. He's got big feet, funky, neat, fun looking hair, long arms, one color of body. And the last one I'm going to show you has a whole bunch of different feet, a long body, and kind of like a giraffe face. A giraffe neck, excuse me. So there are some examples, and I have a piece of paper next to me here. There are some different head shapes, some body shapes, some arm and leg shapes. I will put a picture of that in your Google Slides, or your Google Classroom, excuse me. Then you can look at it if you want to. Now for this assignment, remember, you're not following me. I am just going to demonstrate first, second, third, fourth, the strategy, and then you're going to make your very own Dr. Seuss character. Don't follow what mine looks like. Create your own. I'm going to use this page as a reference, but my strategy is that I'm going to decide what kind of shape I want for the head. So since I'm going to have a round, kind of wobbly head, I'm going to decide to do his eyes in a circle. So on your piece of paper, I want you to start with the eyes. Any kind of eyes you want. Now remember, you don't have to go along with me. You can create your own. Now on a lot of the Dr. Seuss characters, their noses are flat and oval. Unless it's on a side, you want to see them from the side. A lot of that, see there's a bunch of ovals there. That one right there is an elephant trunk kind of. So if it's a side view that you're making, there's an example of an elephant trunk. I'm just going to do like he's looking at us. So for his mouth, for me, I'm going to do a curved line. A lot of the Dr. Seuss characters are curved lines and they're open mouths. You can see here a couple of the examples of the open and closed mouths. I'm going to use an open mouth. Okay, now is when you create the head shape. I'm going to look at all these different head shapes here, and you can see they're all different shapes and sizes, and they've got texture of fur. I'm going to kind of make a mixture of a couple different designs here, and I'm going to do a wobbly head shape. This is where you see your character come to life a little bit. My neck shape is going to be thin, real thin. So there's my head and my thin little neck. And for his hair, I kind of like this second picture here. I'm going to do some crazy hair. Now again, with yours, you can do whatever you want. You can have a mustache, a beard, long hair, short hair, big ears, small ears, anything you want. Again, I'm just showing you the steps on how to draw the character, the different stages, first, second, third, fourth, first eye, second nose, third mouth, then the head shape. Now I'm going to decide, let's see, I'm going to have a neck there, and I'm going to put a big fur collar on him. You can see on this picture here. Closest to me, there's a bigger fur collar. I'm just going to do a little one. The body of this is pretty easy. But you got the head. Make a body that might kind of match that head of yours. So with my example down here, I'm just going to do a big circle with some texture marks. And then just add the arms and the legs you want. I gave you some examples. And I have that example character sheet right here. There's some arms and legs on that sheet, or you can make up your own. So with him, I'm going to do some big fur on his arms. Just like that. And I'm going to draw his feet. I'm kind of going to draw a mixture of his arms and what's on this paper here. I'm going to try to keep with the theme of our big, long pieces of fur. There we go. Kind of silly looking character, and that's exactly what we want. We want to make your character look like it jumped out of a book. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to add some detail marks, texture lines to hair, fur, maybe some eyebrows. So go ahead and add your texture marks. Finish him or her or animal. Finish it up. Then I want you to use your markers and I want you to color it. But remember, when you color with markers, color it one way, make clean lines. And how I do it with markers is I always outline my picture first and then I color it in. So go ahead and do that, and I'll tell you the next step we're going to do. Okay, now that I've finished my little character here, we're going to add a couple things on the side of our page. We're going to add habitat, diet, and personality. So think about where you want your character. Where would he or she or animal, where would it live? So on your paper, I want you to put habitat anywhere you want on your paper. And if you don't have room, you can flip it over or use another piece of paper. Try to keep them together. So I want you to write habitat on your paper, Habitat, habitat, and that is where your character lives. And I think, you know me, I like my sweets. I'm going to have my character live in a bakery. I'm going to have her live in a bakery. Right now what we're doing is we're bringing your character to life. So under habitat, I want you to put where it lives. Does it live in a rainforest? Does it live in a desert? Does it live in a basement? Does it live outside in trees? You decide where your character lives. The next thing I want you to do after you decide where your character lives, I want you to decide its diet. Diet meaning, what does your character eat? Well, I'll tell you, since mine lives in a bakery, it is going to eat donuts. And it's going to eat bread and cake, cupcakes, and cookies. It's going to eat all that stuff in her habitat. And the final thing I want you to put on there on your paper is personality, meaning how does your character act? So anywhere on your paper, I want you to put personality. And since my character lives in a bakery, she always has to be happy. So on my personality, I'm going to put always happy with a lot of energy. After eating all that sugar, I bet my character is crazy. So I'm going to say it has a lot of energy. For your personality, why don't you give me two things? So mine's always happy and it has a lot of energy. Tell me two things yours has. Is it sad, mad, happy, crazy? Anything you want. Tell me how it is. And the very last thing I want you to do on the top, well, besides sign it, is to give your character a name. So since my character loves to eat in a bakery, live in a bakery, I am going to name it Mrs. Flower. Loves that flower. So there's four things you have: a name, habitat, diet, and personality. Wow, I bet all of you will have some pretty different characters. And I think this might be one of the most exciting ones. I cannot wait to see. Okay, send them my way. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.